thing that they haven't in 5 years. They just, you know, made this big stride in their relationship with their partner. They just started this business, and that gets everybody in the room fired up. And I think it's, again, they've forgotten the life that they could potentially create because they haven't been prioritizing them. They've forgotten who they could be, is really what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
That makes sense.
Phenomenal. Good stuff. Tell me more, like, just moving on, okay, here, with obviously in conjunction with your goals, your vision, and what you're wanting to do, and helping these women. For people who are sitting on the fence, a lot of these women who are wanting to see big change in their life, maybe they're coming in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and maybe they're just starting out just like you were, okay? What are your biggest top 3 tips, revelations, or bits of advice that you have for them? If they're listening right now, what can they take away? What value can they take away from this podcast with you right now today? Top 3 tips or revelations or advice.
Yeah. So number 1 would be, the more you start to jump into things with fear, the better off you will be. So we have heard, you know, a lot of people, a lot of women say no to this over and over again because, again, it's coming from fear. It's coming from a place of comfort. And once you understand that we as humans, we are not geared to want change. It's against our biology, if you will, to be super keen on change right away, even if that change is good for us. So as I was saying earlier too, everything I've done in my life, I've jumped in, even if it scared the living daylights out of me, even if maybe initially I was wondering if it was, you know, the right time, I guess you will, or this piece was in line with this piece. We tell everyone to never wait for the right time, to do everything with, again, full speed ahead. So I would say number 1 would definitely be, you have to start diving into things. You have to start being okay with having a lot of fear going into something. And frankly, you have to be okay with failing at something and being really bad at something for a period of time. It's the same thing. We all stepped into the gym for the first time, and we probably were bad at something in there. We probably messed up a machine. We probably messed up this. But that's the only way that those people who are now very successful, they were really bad at it. Same thing with business, with career. Those people were just willing to fail a lot, sometimes a lot, before they got it right. So that's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I would say it's understanding that the fear, a lot of times, kind of stemming off of what I just said, the fear a lot of times is coming from the fact that they have tried so many things in the past and failed. And like I said earlier, once you understand that it's coming from a place of not trusting yourself anymore, of essentially having no track record of following through. You have to make the promise. You have to start small, make promises to yourself again, and actually follow through with them. Like I said, even if you're bad at it, even if it takes longer than what you anticipated, the ones who win are just the ones who stay in the game long enough. I tell everyone I work with, it comes down to 2 things. You have me to make sure everything's on point for you, but it comes down to 2 things. Either you're not checking the boxes that I give you, or you're just not allocating enough time. Other than that, if you do those 2 things, there's 0% chance you fail. So that'd be number 2. And sorry, were you gonna say something?
If you've got another one, I've got lots to say about on what you're saying, but you carry on. You go. What's your flow? 3rd one.
I would say the 3rd thing would be, you hear, or at least I hear, a lot of times on initial calls with people, the same patterns of thinking, of, you know, okay, again, it's not the right time, or there's no way I could ever do that. And there's a lot of these limiting beliefs. There's a lot of, I can't because of X, Y, Z. The second you start having the mentality of everything is my responsibility, everything is, in all honesty, my fault, even to my staff and now managing a team under me, everything is my fault at the end of the day. Everyone is my responsibility. If someone doesn't check a box, I could have showed them the way better. If one of my staff makes a mistake, I didn't show them something correctly, or it's on me at the end of the day. That's how I've operated with everything. So, and that's why I maintain such tight control over everything that I do, because it's all me at the end of the day. Everything ties back to me.
Yeah.
And because I've always taken responsibility for everything in my life, it's allowed me to see what my strengths are and where I still need to improve upon. So
Yeah.
I would say to every woman out there, the second you start operating with that mentality of everything comes back to me. It's not because of this that I failed. It's not because of this. It's all because of me. You become a lot more solution oriented than emotionally driven in your life.
Very impressive. It's almost like I recognize all these lessons because you just repeat them all the time. These are exactly the same things I say. Absolutely. But so yeah, fail forward, embrace fear, get through the fear zone into the learning zone quickly as possible. Failing forward, I think that's a great mindset. Those intrusive thoughts and limiting beliefs, diminish them, kill them, surround yourself with a mentor like Lexi that's ultimately the product of what you want to become. I love that as well. Adopting that growth mindset and ultimately embracing change. Absolutely. I think a really good thing I wanted to ask you as well is that ultimately you've helped a lot of successful, high-performing women around the world, like we have. I'm keen to ask you, as well as the doom and gloom, but what are the characteristics of the most successful clients that you have? I think that's worth sharing.
That's a good one. Yeah. I would say exactly what I just said at that last part. They take responsibility for their actions. They start operating again with that mentality of, you know what, when I tell them it's not because of this that you're not, it's not because of your job, it's not because of, your time constraints with your kids, it's not because of any of that, it's because you're not finding a way. If there's a will, there's a way. There's a reason that saying has been around forever, but that's number one, is taking responsibility for actions and understanding that if you want to do this, if you want that extraordinary life, with the thousands, of women I've come across and helped at this point, there has never been a single instance where we have not found a way. It's against all odds type mentality. But also, it's the mentality that we are at the end of the day here one time, and time goes really fast. And the whole I'll do it one day, I'll do it at this point. Like I said earlier, everything at the end of the day comes down to speed. The only reason, 2 years later, that coming from a place of having a piece of paper that had, Woman Up Fitness as just an LLC, I filed that on Christmas Eve, about coming up on 3 years now. And it was just a piece of paper. It was just a name. And it was literally on Christmas Eve, I was sitting next to my dad. And I just did it. And it was right there. And it was, it was scary. There was a lot in my head, and, it was in the midst of the holidays, but that's when I wanted to do it. So Christmas Eve, there we are. And again, it comes back to time. And, now entering into my 30s as well, it goes really fast. It goes really, really fast. And taking every single day as something where you can create something brand new that day. You can create a whole new life for yourself. And I'd much rather operate on that than being in the exact same place 5 years from now. The women that come to me that are very successful start operating with that same mentality. They're like, you know what? I hear what you're saying. I trust you that we're going to find a way to do this against all odds. Let's go. I'm ready. And they just start. At the end of the day, start.
Well, look, you're an incredible leader, and we're all very, very proud of what you're doing all across the world now. And you deserve all this success as well. Ultimately, a very, very hard-working woman that I've known for a long, long period of time. And guys, if you can take any inspiration from a behavior and copying behavior, Alexi's a phenomenal person to copy, I would say. Just how she shows up and the standards she has for her women as well as herself. It just is always going to result in success. So success leaves clues. Thank you so much for your time. Lex, where can people find you? Where can they come and learn more about you, your business, what you do, social media handles? What's the deal? Yes,
absolutely. So best place probably is Instagram for me. Not sure if I can pop my handle anywhere, but yes. It's at Lexie Clarke. And on Facebook, you can find me, same thing, Lexie Clarke. And those two best places to find me, but I'm happy to also pop my handle anywhere where people can find it.
Yes, I'm sure we'll attach it for Lexi, girls. And guys, whoever watching guys as well, go and check out Lexi. Phenomenal coach, phenomenal content, very inspiring and very transformational. So guys, that's been the podcast today. If you've got any questions for me or Lexi, please do reach out to us, let us know. and we will hopefully see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye bye.